Alright, welcome back to the VR Aperture, your source for the most detailed news and virtual reality related hardware. I am your host, Destroy Troy. This week we're continuing on with our 2022 liquid-cooled PC build for PC VR. And we're unboxing the motherboard and attaching the 12900K Intel 12th gen processor and the Waterblock here. And we also have the case here, the Lee & Lee 011D Dynamic, or 011 Dynamic. And so yeah, let's get started with unboxing. So we mentioned before that we were going to give some feedback on recommended parts for 2022. Motherboards are really expensive this year, and there's just a ton of a ton of different motherboards for each manufacturer this year as well, making it that much harder to choose from. But let me boil down for you. For the most part this year, the majority of the differences of the motherboards until you get kind of to the really high end are just the ports that come with it, the number of 3.2 ports and Thunderbolt and other various your M.2s, the number of M.2s as well. And that's really seems to be what's setting each one apart. So like many other content creators and reviewers have said that you're not getting really a lot for your money this year with motherboards. They were more expensive this year, and then the higher lineups aren't really offering that much more from the lower end in their lineup. So we chose this motherboard specifically, the Aorus Elite. This is the DDR4 variety. Z690 board, Z690 being it's compatible with the Intel 12900 or 12th gen altogether, and DDR4 because the DDR5 is just at this point not only truly overpriced and hard to find, but it's kind of overkill at this point. Anyways, back to the point. We chose the Aorus Aorus Elite by Gigabyte because we're focused on overclocking on this build. You know, it's water cooled. We want to see how far we can push the limits. We really actually liked the Asus Prime Z690A. It's the same price as this motherboard, and it was the same kind of across the board. We wanted that board, really wanted that one to work out for this build because it would match the case better, the color coordination. But when it came down to it, the VRM supporting the CPU just wasn't there in comparison to Gigabyte's Aorus lineup, specifically getting to the Elite. There's a Pro version that's lower than the step down from this, and then they have just a Gaming X variety as well. And those only had this 60 amp power stages, and that's the same with the Asus Prime at 60 amp power stage. But this Elite is a 70 amp power stage, and because we're focused on overclocking, that's the choice we went with. We put aesthetics to the side and went with what functionally was the best choice. Here we have it. This is the Aorus Elite Z690 DDR4 variety. It is a nice presentation. A lot of the other motherboards around this price range are pretty basic looking, and so it was nice. It's a nice appearance. One thing though, it would be nice, and kind of considering this, is to maybe take this VRM heatsink off and maybe get powder coat or white. That would be pretty nice. Also maybe this heatsink too. We get the case is white, and so we want to try and get as much white accents into the build as possible. Also, the build is kind of inspired by R2-D2. You know, Star Wars is real big again. We're going to be doing a white and blue color scheme, and so we're trying to get everything as much as possible to match with that. Unfortunately, none of the white motherboards met the cut. We're going to go ahead and open up the Intel i9 12th gen. This is the 12900, actually KF, so there's no integrated graphics, so you must have the add-on graphics card. i9 12th gen 12900. Go ahead and open up the socket. Take off the cover here. Ooh, it's a nice socket. It's kind of been redesigned. It's nice. Got our diamond marking on the corner. I'm just going to match it up with the diamond marking here on the socket. Alright, CPU in. Next we have the Waterblock. This is the EK Waterblock. All their lineup of Waterblocks by EK are compatible with the 12900 socket. It's actually the LGA 1700 socket to be specific. You just need to get the converted back plate. I just put these on so we wouldn't lose them. EK provides these back plates to convert for the LGA 1700 socket for 1 penny. They will sell this to you for 1 penny. Shipping costs is a whole nother thing, but you can buy it for 1 penny. You might actually be better off getting them on Amazon, where all of the shipping costs is wrapped in, rolled up into one, and it's just $12. You can actually probably get away with paying a little less for the shipping than that, but you can't beat the speed. So we'll go ahead and bust out the Thermal Grizzly Cryonaut. grout piece. Goes with the back plate. It's kind of an inventive way to do it, but we'll just do it on its side. Alright, so now we have the back plate on there, the rubber grommet, and the 4 posts and their screw holes. We're ready to mount the water block over the top of that. Alright, so there we have it. Motherboard's assembled. We're ready after this to put it into the case. So I think it's a good stopping point. We'll cut it here. Hope you like this video. Hope the information about the motherboard was helpful. I know there's a lot to choose from out there. Our recommendation is probably, if you're trying to stay under that $300 mark, you know, you can't really stay under the $200 mark anymore, and under $250 is even really difficult. If you had to be under $250, we'd probably say the Gigabyte Gaming X is probably, you come in, I believe that comes in under $250. The last couple of years, you know, I feel like Gigabyte's really been knocking it out of the park, especially with power conditioning, power delivery, but the other choice, you know, recommendation, second choice, might even be first choice if it wasn't for overclocking, just general aesthetics, or actually the number of ports. I believe, I don't know them off the top of my head, but the number of 3.2 USB and M.2s there's a greater number variety on the Asus Prime Z690-A. So, all right. Once again, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe and hit the like button, and we'll see you real soon on the unboxing of the case and installing motherboard and that. So have a great rest of your week.